as expected, along with spent oxygen tank, which is going to apply exhaustion to survivors that get slipstreamed. Here with my co-caster Edgar. What do you think about this set?
Singularity Groaning Storehouse, the best thing since sliced bread as far as I'm concerned. So obviously looking forward to this. As you said, very interesting going for the oxygen tank here. There's a big variation between, obviously the Soma family photo always going to be very popular because of the haste, as a lot does come in onto the Adam here. But yeah, it's interesting because some Singularity players opt to use the baseball glove instead to get that longer overpopulation, a bit more lethality in chase. But when you know there are exhaustion posts on the field, this can also be a good idea. Once again, utilizing that lock-on to get to every single pallet. At this point, it's only really a matter of time before the hit comes through. This is all time that is being bought here. The chase actually not quite happening in the corrupted gens as Adam would want, so a little bit of time being wasted here. But what can you expect? Someone going to be coming in, obviously. EMP's going to be a big weakness of Singularity, and this is around the start of the match, about a minute or so in, where those EMPs start to come online. Certainly something that can be used to mitigate some of the effectiveness, or you just get another TP like that. Bolitar can just, you know, make me eat my own words there.
Yeah, he gets that successful first hit onto the Adam, but immediately transfers onto this, Alan Wake here, brand new survivor actually. But he finds the Risa in main. Really nice use of the cameras there. And what's going to matter a lot here as he misses that teleport due to an EMP is what is Bolitar's APM? Is he able to switch to the cameras fast enough? Is he able to get slipstreams on as many people as possible? Because if he can do that fast enough, he will outpace the production of the EMPs, and that's what gets you the win on Singularity.
Yeah, I couldn't have said it better myself, as TP does now come through onto the Dwight here. Going to be going for a cheeky swing through, but unfortunately not actually landing through the pallet. You would have maybe preferred that, because then the break would have come through instantly, would have been gone. Instead, just going to teleport. Another hit going to be coming through, and this looks good. You got 3 injures, but remember, hook stages are absolutely key. Not being able to commit to the Adam or the Alan or any other character that starts with an A, it's pretty rough, as, yeah, all kind of recognizing just going to be going down there. Got caught out at this pallet right here. Final first hook is finally going to be coming through. No chance have been popped yet, so maybe there's time for a Scourge hook to come out here, and we're going to have to see how close this is. This could be a very narrow finish.
Yeah, not a ton of gen progress so far, and I mean, the unique thing about this killer is that he doesn't mind playing around main at all. In fact, he actually kind of counters this main building with the correct camera setup, as he got the down onto the Dwight there, and now he's in his cameras, finds another teleport onto the injured Alan Wake here at the Ormond tile. He's gonna go down. Very nice play there from Bolitar. He's just very active in his system of cameras. Unhook comes in. He's getting really consistent teleports here. That's going to allow him to land a pop on the gen that Alan was working. And he's not really going to worry about this tunnel out just yet. He's going to go back and pick up his second fresh hook. Actually, no. He goes to another generator. He knew somebody was slipstreamed there. And he's actually going to leave Aki slugged and enter a chase onto this ace.
Yeah, going to be going foods for it. Obviously, Ace going to be running to the corner to buy some time here. And you wonder, what is Bolitar's plan here? This is a lot of... This is an uncomfortable amount of mixing and matching. Obviously, it's nice to get all of this pressure being spread out, but at the end of the day, eventually, someone's going to have to end up going on a meat hook. Alan is going to be brought up there in the meantime, but I suppose it's just a matter of time. Again, time is money in Dead by Daylight. You can... The longer that you can have the survivors not doing generators, the better. I'm going to pop that, but actually, yeah, going to be waiting for Eruption to come off cool.
And everybody that's not hooked right now is currently gooped, so really good efficiency there. EMP does come in, but he's already got another person tagged. And I want to point out there, as he was going for that pickup onto Ace, he was faking the lock-on to make him blow up the gen with a 7% chance. Gets another teleport. Hits Aki again. That guy's still not hooked. He gets EMP'd, and I guess Bolitar is probably going to be looking back towards this hook now. He knows he has a lot of pressure. We're still at 5 gens, keep in mind.
Yeah, still 5 generators here. Save is going to be coming through. Going to be seeing if there's finally a commitment to the tunnel here, or if Adam's just going to be body blocking, trying to hit right now. Yeah, Adam currently going to be the one taking the lock-on. Going to be exhausted. And the body block actually not coming through successfully. Not entirely sure what happened there. Maybe a little bit of goop coming out from these survivors. But yeah, that's going to be another hit. Pickup actually not going to be coming through onto the ace. This almost seems like worst case scenario for the survivors here.
Yeah, and Adam's just going to hop into the locker. And what we're seeing here is that just Singularity is such a fast and frantic chaser Once he gets people tagged, he is relentless, and it's only a matter of time before they run out of resources. That's why he knows that he can just slug 100 hours and go for the next person, because they're right there and they're slipstreamed. Just a really dangerous position for these survivors.
Yeah, and there still has not been a single gen done. We're about 5 minutes or so into this gen. 0 generators done. The pressure coming out here from Volatar has been nothing but sublime. As another pop does come out here too, so going to be seeing if we can produce even more here. But again, 4 hook stages, 5 generators, not a single one completed. This is absolutely tremendous. Going to be trying to get another tag through. Again, getting those tags, getting those chases in is so good. And I suppose Volatar is playing to the strength of Singularity. One of the few killers where you can actually afford to split pressure, because provided you're able to tag up the survivors, you can just get onto all of them very quickly. First gen finally going to be popped, but sure took their time there, survivors did.
Yeah, first gen finally comes through, and he's already in his final chase with 100 hours here. This could be the death at 4 gens, and he's gonna get it.
Yeah. My goodness, absolutely disgusting performance right now. This might be one of the more one-sided Singularity games that I have seen thus far. Going to be getting the first kill here with 4 gens remaining. I don't see a world in which this game does not result in a 4K or maybe 3K cosmic hatch if you are lucky here. These survivors have to do some serious heavy lifting just to get some more gens done, let alone even get anyone out here.
Yeah, I'd say if I was on the survivor side here, this would be a 4K. This would be a 4K2 at best. 4K1 maybe if they can get a miracle going. But Volatar here just showing an incredible performance in the Singularity, and he's going to be able to even more keep up his efficiency with the camera tags now that there's only 3 survivors in the game.
Yeah, exactly. Last regression event going to be coming out onto that generator. You see the block coming through right there. Not a mechanic that I was actually aware of until hearing about it in the last game, but you know, you learn something new every day. Going to be checking main here, and quite interestingly, this is a small thing, but I think it's very intentional. Volatar has 2 cameras in main. EMP cannot catch both of them at once. So I think that's very intentional. There is always going to be a camera in main, so I'm just going to have to make a big investment to get rid of them both. In the meantime, this corner gen actually being relatively uncontested here, so it looks like Alan Wake, the newest survivor coming in, is actually going to be able to, get through that here, but that's an injured Adam.
Yeah, and I believe that gen is going to be intentionally uncontested here for Volatar, because Singularity only has 8 pods, and you can't have one on every single gen, so he's going to choose to have it on the ones that he cares about the most. So that's why Alan Wake is going to finish that gen, and he is going to find a chase onto Dwight here at the log pile. He's not tagged yet, but it looks like Volatar is just going to walk him down.
Yeah, who needs fancy tricks? Who needs goof? Who needs any kind of shots firing when you just walk at a survivor? That seems to work out pretty well. Goop is going to be coming through as well. Ooh, teleport to the correct side! Ooh, that is, margins are thin there, but it's going to be working out in the favor of Volatar here. Actually going to be running over, to another Scourge hook here, seems like it. Just get more regression in, deny as much value as humanly possible. Or maybe it was just a slightly different placement of hook. Oh.
Yes, when Singularity can get that teleport over a short loop, that's an extremely dangerous situation for survivors, because the point at which Singularity will teleport onto the survivor is constantly changing when they're moving back and forth at a loop, and it can allow him to come out right under somebody if they're changing directions when he clicks the teleport.
Yeah, exactly. Knowledge. Knowledge is power right now, obviously. Prion today giving us a whole lot of knowledge about Singularity, seems to be very fond of this killer, and aren't we all, dare I say. Al, in the meantime, is going to be progressing halfway through this gen on the other side here, but it's going to be a little camp coming through onto Hale instead. Doesn't seem to mind this really. Again, just secure your kills. You know that you're in a dominating position. You can lose 1 more gen maybe. I think you can afford it. You're also looking at this Eruption. You have Eruption locked on a lot of these generators, and with both survivors injured, it's only really a matter of time before you're down one of them. You just get even more regression coming through here. So yeah, that is going to be the kill coming out to Hale. Volatar once again back on the prowl.
Yeah, and Bolitar knows that he can afford to lose this one more gen, and he finds both of the survivors doubling it injured. This is going to be a 4K2, barring any incredible plays from this survivor here. He's already got the down onto 100 hours, and Aki is going to be next. He EMPs himself here, but another tag is going to come in. He missed the pod. Gets the teleport there. Aki takes the window, goes to the pallet at this long wall jungle gym. And he tries to swing through the pallet there and misses, but it looks like he's actually going to try to play this without breaking the pallet. Fakes the teleport, he's at the window, then hits the teleport, and he is going to get down through the window there. Nice singularity play coming in from Bolitar. What an incredible set for Rapture. They're in a very strong position going into their survivor set.
Bolitar won it in the early game, to be honest. Absolutely tremendous performance there, coming out from our Singularity today, early on, so dominating. Initially, we were questioning, this is a lot of split pressure. Maybe you need to actually commit to a couple of hooks. You need to commit to getting your scores on the board. But obviously, this killer knows something that we sure as hell don't, and it worked out absolutely phenomenally. 4K going to be coming through 12 stages here, very likely, unless there's some kind of miraculous weird hat play, which just is not going to be happening. Let's be completely honest. But I think both the killer and survivor know that actually Shaq and killer such a dominating position right now. Taking
and I think what we can learn from this game is that if you at home are an aspiring Singularity player, work on your camera positions, work on your APM, and if you can outpace the production of the EMPs and keep everybody tagged in the early game, you're gonna have a really good time, just like Bolitar did here.
There is also the very fun part that, there is also the very fun aspect that Singularity is just flaming survivors throughout the entire game. You know, calling them like pathetic little worms and stuff like that. It's mildly entertaining. Obviously these survivors, no worms, nothing like that. Obviously very, very skilled in their own right, but just outclassed here today. And yeah, that's going to be Bolitar setting a very, very strong precedent here. It is going to be, yeah, that was Rapture on the killer first. Going to be seeing if Void can try and match that, but it's not particularly likely, Prion.
Yeah, 4K3 win condition is going to be coming in for Void's killer, and that's going to be really tough, I gotta be honest. So we're going to go to a short break as we set up the next game. It's going to be Void on the killer, Rapture on the survivor, and we will be right back after that break. Stay tuned.
Rapture came out looking very hot on their initial round right there. Phenomenal performance from Bolitar, but that's enough about that. It is now Void's time to shine, seeing if they can cool them off just a little bit. I'm EdgarTheRuiner, joined by Prion today. What are we thinking about this build setup? This is something very different from what we just saw.
Yeah, this is a really interesting build here. We've got Ruin Undying instead of any sort of gen kicking perk like Bolitar had last game. And we'll have to see how that works out, because one of those totems is not in a very safe spot there in the middle of the map. He's going to find a tag there onto Flix on the backside of Shaq. But he's committing a lot of pods to Shaq here. As he gets the teleport, he's going to be going towards the window. Flix will make that window, continue in this chase. He's probably going to go straight to the pallet and drop it immediately. And that's going to be a normal kick coming in from Hale. Chase is going to continue onto Flix here. He runs into the middle of the map. And he's going to be able to drop this pallet too. Oh, he breeds it and drops it late. Takes the hit through the pallet. Oh no, that is not what you want to see. And Ryun here, coming in for an EMP, but he actually just gets tagged. And the chase is going to continue onto Flix. He gets gooped again. And another teleport going to be coming in. No distance here for Flix. He now has to play this Orman tile against an overclocked Singularity. Goes to that pallet, but we know that this pallet is not safe. He's going to get gooped there again.
Yeah, you wouldn't think it looking at this gameplay. Holy hell, yeah, going to be getting it. Eventually overclock. That haste coming through, and you can also see the different decision making there. Instead of going for the exhaust, they're going for the longer overclock duration. You combine that with that 5% haste buff, and in those small situations like that on these short loops, it really does make all the difference. Ruin is still up, but again, your Ruin's only really getting as much value as it can when you are pressuring gens out. That was a relatively, not the long chase in the world, but not exactly a short one either. You weren't really doing a whole lot to generators in that time, so one is just going to be completed through that. Ruin likely going to be going down very shortly. We know the efficiency that these players have, but this is actually a relatively solid hook, speaking about that, because the Ruin is right there. Now, again, it's quite interesting because, you know, you're not pressuring any gens. It's not going to stop anyone from doing it, but at least you get the totem to stay up for a little bit longer.
Yeah, and I mean, crucially, one generator was completed, and oh no, Ryun gets hit out of that unhook, and he's actually not going to trade for it. He's going to just leave. He's tagged, he's injured, and that puts Hale in a much better spot here. I think Flix is going to be going to second now that Ryun bailed on that unhook.
Yeah, really interesting there, and so yeah, it does seem like this camp is just going to be coming through here. Obviously, this does give time for some of these gens to be completed again. It's all about knowing your margins, and yeah, that's exactly what you want. Actually going to be finally applying some pressure, and now that passive regression is finally going to be coming through. But again, you know your win condition. This is always the advantage of going second. You can play differently. You don't necessarily care about whether you have to let Flix hang for a little bit longer, whether someone else has to eat a hook stage or something like that. You just know we complete 4 generators and we are one step closer to winning this series. At the end of the day, that is all that really counts here for Rapture. So another gen is going to be coming out here. Flix is going to be going the way of the Dodo very shortly, seems like it. Unless Bolitar actually wants to come in for this save. But no, once again getting hit and not committing to it. This is somewhat baffling, dare I say.
I am really surprised that these survivors are not just taking a trade for Flix. Regardless of what your win condition is,
right?
you can't just let somebody die on hook like that at 3 gens. That's just, it's not gonna help. Having 4 survivors versus having 3 survivors is just such a huge difference. I'm really baffled as to why just twice there they decided to take a hit and then not trade.
Yeah, exactly. It's exactly as we mentioned, because they know their win condition as well, so it's not like they're particularly worried about hook stages. What they should be concerned with is having all the survivors alive to be able to consistently apply pressure. These gens lock not quite coming through there. But speaking of that, that is in fact going to be the 3rd gen going. So best case scenario right now for Hale would be a tie, but that doesn't seem entirely likely because there's still 2 survivors on the other side of the map. We're going to be seeing whether they're going to be able to actually get this last gen coming through. If not, then we're going to have to go through very quickly review how many stages we got last time. It was a full 12k hook onto everyone, so yeah, never mind. There's no comparison to do. It's either kill everyone and get a tie, or don't and lose. Simple as that.
Yeah, the gen spread is quite good for Rapture, despite the fact that they only have 3 survivors now. And Bolitar did go down in the basement after a long time searching for him through the cameras and trying to teleport on him. Yeah, and you're right, Ruin is still up, Undying is gone. He's gonna find this Feng here, game over on the hill, and she's gonna immediately run all the way out of the gen setup, and yeah, he's actually gonna, oh, nice goop there on the stairs onto Ryun as he goes down to get the basement unhook. He's gonna commit onto this Feng, and all the way in the corner of the map, he's gonna get that first hit. She's still slipstream, so this should be a very fast chase. Oh, he actually chooses to go back to the shack camera and keep up the infection onto the people coming out of basement.
Yeah, really. I mean, Hale's in the kitchen right now. Hale's cooking something. We're going to be seeing whether it's a 5-star meal, whether everything gets burnt down in its entirety here. But yeah, again, really surprised. Not sure if it's an active decision for the survivors to not be popping this Ruin about now, or whether it's just been pressure applied. We know that Hale has been sticking relatively close to it, but there are times like this where it is fairly, you know, it's fairly doable to cleanse the Ruin in time. And when you have 4 survivors left, Ruin ain't really that much of a problem, because you're always really going to have someone who's able to stick on a gen. When you have 3, you have a lot of jobs that need doing and a lot of things to take care of, so not actually going to be happening there. But for the time being, again, it seems like they still don't care. So Feng carrying on this chase for quite a while, actually, doing very well right now.
Yeah, and Singularity is actually going to leave because Game Over has such a good chase there, just going from pallet to pallet, making sure that he didn't get teleported on top of. And we've got Bolitar here. He's just doing shack gen while injured and infected. That's quite dangerous, but he's actually getting quite a bit of progress on it. He pre-leaves from shack and EMPs himself, but Hale knows where he is.
Where's Bolitar? That's what I'm wondering. Where's Bolitar been this entire time? Because that was okay. Bolitar is, I guess, just following Singularity. Happens to the best of us. Not entirely sure what's going on there, but there it is. Yeah, the gen's going to be popped. Rian did in fact actually opted to stick onto that. And yeah, so very well played. Obviously, a very nice attempt here from our killer. But at the end of the day, I think that is going to be, Rapture confirming their win right now. Yeah, Singularity kind of knows it.
Yeah, and now that the win con has actually been met, I need to drop some more Singularity knowledge because that was insane what Bolitar did right there. He was infected at the window, expecting the teleport, so he walked away from the window and then ran back into it to shift the teleport position behind him and get the fast fall on the window, faking out the Singularity and making him come out on the wrong side. That was just awesome from Bolitar.
My God, I feel like I could listen to this man talk about Singularity for hours at a time, and I would not get bored of it. Yeah. Do you have any more juicy Singularity knowledge for us?
Not at the moment. I think we've seen everything we can see today, besides an awful 3-gen. But now that you know, the entity makes the gens all crunchy, and now Singularity can't really hold a 3-gen for an hour anymore. So. Rian gets the
entity makes the gens crunchy. That
is what's happening, isn't it?
Yeah,
the spikes come, and I don't know why they made that sound effect so crunchy, but they did.
I don't know, maybe they had some barbecue sauce to the generators and you're going to start eating them. That'd be an interesting killer concept, a killer who just eats the generators so the survivor can't do them. Is it possible? I don't know, maybe. In the meantime, while we're just yapping about nothingness, Rian is going to be going down here. Been hooked yet, but it's not like these regression perks really doing anything. So that's kind of the trade-off here, because yes, tunneling always makes sense to try and get rid of a survivor early, and it was relatively effective, but you're also denying yourself a little bit of value from that Scourge hook by not spreading that to other survivors. I believe that's 75% regression that you are actually missing out on. So it's all about opportunity costs when you decide to tunnel someone out. Clearly didn't quite work out in Hale's favor this time, but I will say, yeah, the survivors did come close to blundering a little bit. I don't think this should have been as close as it ended up being. Would you agree?
Yeah, I would definitely agree. I still think they shouldn't have let Flix die on hook there, but they clearly had a plan and were able to get their win condition. And they might honestly be able to get all the gens done here. I did see that they had pressure on 2 gens split, as Rian and Bolitar are just going to run all the way into this corner here at the Macmillan variant tile. Teleport comes in. Rian probably going to be going down at this pallet. Yep, he's going to go down there. And they want to keep the chase in this area because they know that Game Over is working that final generator.
Yeah,
nice camera placement there. Gets the teleport onto Game Over, and he's going to go down. Game Over hides from the first camera, immediately goes into the line of sight of the second camera. Really nice play there from Hale.
Yeah, Bolitar is going to be picking up Rian here, and again, EMP was just used, so any cameras in the vicinity would not be particularly useful to actually apply any more pressure to these injured survivors. But again, at this point, it's more of just a Singularity show match for the time being. The win has already come through here for Rapture. Phenomenal play to them. I guess then. I guess here's a little question that we can debate. Obviously, the first add-on is almost always going to be the haste add-on, the family photo. Between the canister and the baseball glove, in your professional opinion, what do you think is the better option?
I'm personally a big fan of the spent oxygen tank over the baseball glove. I think the baseball glove is no longer necessary unless other better things are banned, but better things used to be not as good until they changed some of Singularity's add-ons, so I think people just kind of stick to the baseball glove because it's what they know. I think spent oxygen tank is better, and if certain other things were unbanned, then I'd be taking those over spent oxygen tank, but, you know, we do have add-on bans here. We are a professional league. I would not be able to use my beloved crew manifest in DBDLeague.
The crew manifest. Oh my god. You mean every killer can't bring double iridescent add-ons? Is DBDLeague a joke? Unbelievable.
No, crew manifest is the purple that gives aura when you slipstream somebody.
Yeah, I swear on release it used to start everyone slipstreamed as well, right? And then they
that's denied requisition form.
Ah, I see. I'm talking to the Singularity Encyclopedia right now.
Okay.
I wasn't aware.
Anyways, game over. It's gonna go comp corner. We got 2 survivors grouped. And are they doubling a gen? Are they gonna try to get this last gen done? We actually don't have a camera on that mid gen. Hale can't tell if they're actually working on a generator or not, because I think he cycled his pods by accident.
Yeah, exactly. And a lot of the time, you can just kind of get lost in doing that as a Singularity. Obviously, you have all these pods that you want to be applying in chase to actually catch the survivors with the slipstreams, but then you end up taking pressure away from the generators, and that is one of Singularity's greatest strengths. Not just the ability to get the slipstream off in chase, but also to get the gens. See, right there, Volatile wants to press the gen out. No, not going to be happening. Teleport coming through, Injure coming through, Being likely going to be trying to get game over off the hook right now as Volatile. Once again, just going to be playing this little corner tile. Hale just going to be, just trying to zone him out here. Get the TP coming through. It's all over but the trying now for the ace. Actually, a bit of a fumble there. And I think that was a life as well. There, I guess you see the weakness of not running the spent oxygen tank. So yeah, Volatile making some nice distance, and yeah, I think tried the tech that you were mentioning earlier again. Not quite working out this time.
Yeah, it's not really the most effective tech on the Z wall. I know the Z wall is the strongest tile in the entire game, but it's not very big, unfortunately.
Yeah, unfortunately not. I mean, it just seems like Hale kind of made an interesting decision here with the build. Again, as we know, these killers have to lock in their builds before the match even starts. So oftentimes you'll see situations such as an endgame build on a killer who cannot afford to get to an endgame because they would lose at that point. Too many gens would be done. But obviously that's just something that we have to consider here. The Ruin, the Undying, I mean, Singularity does have pretty good gen pressure. Again, you're able to pop those biopods on a generator, and there's always just the threat of the slipstream and the teleport to actually get the survivors the hell out of dodge. Didn't really seem to work out this time because Ruin isn't particularly good, dare I say?
Okay, Feng is working on the generator sideways.
Yeah.
I don't see how that's helping the generator progress.
No, she's listening to the gen. She's listening to it. Don't worry about it.
Okay. So Hale is actually going to allow that unhook to happen, and it looks like the survivors are trying to pressure this middle gen. It's going to get the tag onto Feng. She already has an EMP, though. Is he going to be able to get the teleport? No, he chooses to reset the pod instead of getting the teleport. If you are fast enough, you can get the teleport before the person can charge their EMP. But he was not able to do that there. He's going to tag Rian, and we're going to just kind of continue this chess match for this last generator. Gets the teleporter to Rian, who's on the wrong side of the window.
Yeah,
Singularity.
Of the two styles of Dead by Daylight chess that I've seen, this is probably the slightly more interesting one. I don't know, but still, it's going to be... No chase going to be coming through here. Every survivor's still injured, seeing whether the pressure is coming out here. And yeah, that's exactly what you don't want. Obviously, dunking on the head of the Singularity is still going to be making it to his... Teleport couldn't come through there for a hot minute.
Yeah, and I mean, as Rian is showing us here, there's actually a lot of ways to abuse the Singularity's teleport targeting on a TL wall. He's usually very dangerous on the TL walls because of his increased vault speed, but Rian able to buy a good bit of time there, and I think he just skipped a hook there. Rian might be the last Pain Resonance.
Yeah, that would obviously be a pretty big boon. Yeah, it'll be a big boon for Hale right now to continue applying that pressure, and obviously also the ability to actually look through and see which gen it is that got popped there and seeing the amount of progress on it. It wasn't all that much. Obviously we only caught a flash of it, but I was thinking maybe 40-50%. That isn't really a huge amount for the most progressed generator, so you're not really panicking here if you're Hale. You know that you can take it relatively patient. I think it is going to be a 4K coming through. Again, it's more of a war of attrition. A 4K will probably be happening here. Just bit of a slow 4K and a nice chilled out session of sacrificing innocent people to the entity.
Yeah, and he's just gonna continue to try to get these groups at Shack. Gets another teleport onto Bolatar here, and it looks like everybody's death hook now. There's only 3 stages left to go in the trial.
Yeah, the most fair gamer in the world, Hale, instantly tunnels out flicks and then decides, no, I'm just gonna play evenly. I'm gonna play by the Survivor rulebook now, hook everyone evenly. That's completely fine. Volatile once again injured up, slipstreamed up as well. Game over is running in for the save with the EMP, and yeah, slipstream now on everyone right now. So close yet so far here for Hale again. Has not shown bad performance at all. Quite the opposite. This Lunge is going to be coming through. Volatile is finally going to be facing the Reaper at the very end here. But yeah, Hale doesn't actually want to. Hale doesn't really care that much about actually securing that kill, or maybe at the very least just wanted to. Maybe at the very least just wanted to get another slipstream off.
Yeah, and this is going to be the second kill coming in here for Hale. And just a reminder to everybody in chat that ever since that 4th generator popped, the game has already been decided. Both our survivors and the Singularity here are kind of just playing for pride as we drag this game out very long. Game over is going to be going through main building. There's almost no chance that these survivors are going to be able to do the last gen in a 2v1 with both people dead on hook. So it's only a matter of time here before Hale is able to get this 4K1.
Yeah, especially because Game Over is slipstreamed up. Does have an EMP, so and get rid of it very soon. Yeah, will happen. Nice lunge coming through. Optimistic there, but the very end of the weapon just connecting with the back of Feng. And yeah, there's nothing really here to work with, so Game Over should be going down very, very shortly. Don't really see a point. Obviously, it is possible here that Singularity could still try for the 4K, but there would in fact be no point. The game is already lost. But again, it's always possible. Maybe you just want a 4K just to prove that you can. You know, I'm not the arbiter of what these players do here.
And again, just Game Over putting on a clinic on how to run a Singularity at the TL walls while you're slipstreamed there. His movement was amazing. He predicted which way the teleport was going to come from and got the fast vault to get out of there. Made Hale leave. He's now going to be going on to actually teleports right back onto Game Over. Right as I was talking him up, he's going to go down right after the teleport. And he's going to be slugged. Another instant teleport onto the slipstreamed Rian. And this is going to be the game here. Last down on the dead on hook survivor. Gets him through the shack window. It's going to be a 4K1 secured for Hale. All things considered, a good result for Hale. It's just not going to be enough because of how good Bolitar's result was for Rapture.
Just not good enough at the end of the day. Moral of the story here for Hale thus far on the Singularity. I think there's a lot of things you can chalk out to. You can chalk that to a more interesting choice of build, obviously with having this debate about whether the spent oxygen tank baseball glove is better. The use of Ruin and Undying here, not really something that we've been seeing a lot recently. People much prefer, you know, the pop eruption combination, even pop and brutal. Obviously, Scourge and Corrupt, they're standards at this point. Not a whole lot that is going to be played, honestly. But yeah, very strong play here from Void. They really did give him a run for their money, but at the end of the day, Rapture was just so dominant. Volatile was so dominant on the Singularity, and you couldn't really live up to that win condition if you're Void. So, sure, are going to be taking our first win of the set today, putting us on match point. Join us very, very shortly. We get to see Demogorgon play. That is Void's killer pick, so Void will be killing first. So join us again very shortly to see whether Rapture can close this out or whether we're going to the fabled Chucky set.
Welcome everybody to the Demogorgon set between Rapture and Void. We have Hypna on the Demogorgon on Azarov's resting place. And a little bit of housekeeping before we start the cast is that Void is going to be taking a half a hook stage penalty for taking too long in the lobby. So they're going to be starting with a little bit of a disadvantage here as Hypna goes down the map, and he's going to be finding his first survivor from Rapture here at the shack.
Yeah, we really do mean it when we say time is muddy in Dead by Daylight. So obviously, there's going to be a little bit of a penalty for that. In the meantime, Chase is going to be coming through at shack here onto the Kate. Going to be seeing whether the Shrek can actually get any value here. This is a relatively good spot, but the Gen being in the middle here actually really messes the Demogorgon up. He's still able to get that hit through, so you're not necessarily worried there. But doesn't really want to commit to this. You think maybe there's a juicier target over here that I can chase, and yeah, Claudette is going to be making it over to this gym right here, but you know, better. It's probably better to chase here than it is a shack. At least this way you can kind of just get through these pallets, shred through them. Obviously, we have the add-ons to get rid of them even quicker. I want a brief explanation here. This singularity perk that is going to be run here, machine learning. What's the idea of that? I do not think I've seen a demo run this in DBDLeague before.
So that's actually not machine learning, Edgar. It's actually forced hesitation, which is the one that is going to slow everyone down. When somebody goes down in the radius, and Genblight here gonna go down at the edge map filler pallet. Forced hesitation probably not revealed because I don't think any survivors were nearby. The radius on that is actually 16 meters, so it's probably only gonna come in during an unhooked scenario, as Demogorgon here is dragging Genblight up into the main area of the map, and a first generator is going to pop there for Rapture. Good gen pressure from them. Pain resonance activated on the Claudette, and we're gonna see here he's actually gonna start a chase onto this ace over by the edge map, possibly leaving the unhook open.
Yeah, chase on the ace. A little bit of rhyming action right now, but all that's happening right now is Rian actually going to be crouching that. So Dodge coming through there, buying a little bit more time, gets to the pallet, actually drops it right on the head of our killer as well. Phenomenal play here from Rian. What was a guaranteed kill has actually turned into an escape. It's just more time being burnt off the clock here, more time where gens can be done here. And yeah, Void already off to a bit of a rough start here. Struggling a little bit more now on the killer side. It's going to be Volatile taking another hit coming through instead. But yeah, eventually you're going to need to actually get one of these survivors down. So another gen is going to be popping over on that side. Survivor looking around for anything because the pallet has been burnt in that gym, so it would be a little bit easier to get that down, but not going to be happening.
Yeah, and our Demogorgon here has spent the entirety of this game on the bottom side of the map, and we can see why. There's only one generator left on the entire top side of the map. There is a 4-gen on the shack side of the map.
Oh,
so I think the survivors have figured this out as well, and that's why they're resetting on the top side. So we're gonna have to see if they're gonna be able to break this gen setup here that they have. It's quite nasty, as we can see on the killer's aura. There's 4 generators all around.
Yeah, this is time to learn about your regression events today, ladies and gentlemen. I think that is something that might become quite relevant in this situation, because yeah, it's absolutely brutal. This map has always been a hotbed. Yeah, this map's always been a hotbed for these 3-4 gen kind of scenarios, just with the layout of it, the very thin strip through the middle, and you know the huge openings on either side. Essentially, this is more of a choke point than it really is a part of the map. Yeah, drop is actually going to be coming through. Looked a little bit dodgy there, but Bolotar going to be living a little bit longer now. Again, more time bought, and yeah, this is time where Genblight and Game Over have to be working these gens on the outside of the map. You have to break this 4-gen however you can, but obviously, Demogorgon knows this. Isn't gonna make it that simple.
Yeah, and we're seeing really smart play from Rapture here. Although, as I say that, Genblight is going to take a hit and run deeper into the gens. He's gonna dodge that shred there, but he's gonna go down at this pallet. He's down on the wrong side of the map. Oh no, this could be a disaster for Rapture. Although Shack Gen is pretty close, and Genblight already had a pain res on him, so no pain res available, and Shack Gen is almost done.
Can they commit? It doesn't seem like commit is going to be coming through. That is not ideal, but again, no pop has been bought in favor of forced hesitation here. A little bit of a strange decision. Again, not something we've seen a whole lot of, but again, where there is a will, there is a way. So not a whole lot of progression is going to be coming out. There's a little bit of demo flying action coming through there, but again, pallet dropped here. But these are all resources on this side of the map that survivors are being forced to burn through. And yeah, you can try and leave it away. You can try and say, hey, come over here. We have a shiny toy on this side that you come play with, but a little wiser than that, this demo.
Yeah, and inevitably, Demogorgon is going to have to commit towards the other side of the map. He goes to top mid and is able to get a down onto Game Over. Nice shred there. Good prediction at the 4 lane. But he's currently top mid, so what are the survivors doing on those gens down there? And I'm not sure if, was that a missed skill check, or was it somebody fast vaulting Shack?
mean, guess we'll just have to see the gen and see. So one of the gens is going to be popped on this side, but still a really horrific 3-gen situation. That was a pain risk going through there. So regression going through on the Shack gen as well. The one that we initially thought had so much potential, could have done so much for the side of Rapture here, but it is not to be, unfortunately. And it's a war of attrition. It really is a very slow back and forth march between both these teams to see who can stay focused the longest. I think that's a big thing. Both of these players, both these sides know they are locked in here for a long game. So it's all about not getting greedy, just taking what you can, and just, you know, being very smart when you try and finally commit to, you know, sticking a gen or going to the other side of the map for a chase. But the judgment call on when to do that and when to stick back and play safe, that's going to be what really differentiates these teams, seeing who gets the win here.
Yeah, and Rapture is going to have to play this really smart. They don't want to be found on this bottom side of the map while injured. They want to take resets all the way away from the gens. And if they get hit, they have to run all the way down here towards main to find a teammate and reset. And now, I think Demogorgon knows that there's nobody on the bottom side of the map, and he's actually going to commit here to somebody here. It's Gen Blight, who's dead on hook, actually, and is going to run back into the main area. He's injured. And if I'm Claudette here, I need to be taking this to the best resources on the top side. Stuff like that bus and any other safe pallet you can find away from the... Oh, he gets caught up a little bit there, but he makes the vault. And now a hit is coming in from the Gabriel. They are going to complete that only gen on the top side, but Gen Blight still in his final chase as long as the Demogorgon continues to commit.
Yeah, Demogorgon is actually going to continue to commit here, so there is a brief window of time here for someone to sneak over top, and adrenaline coming through. That's why Bolotar was the one who took the hit. Incredibly smart play here coming out from this Rapture side, but yeah, clever play here. Dodge is going to be coming through on the window, not going to be mattering, however. Demo is still here, and Gen Blight?
Honestly, Oh, but the no-ed comes in. Okay, so
boy.
They didn't know about the no-ed. No. They didn't know about the forced hesitation. That was actually a good play from Gen Blight, getting in the way of that because he's only worth one hook stage. It just is going to backfire because they did not know about both of those perks. I don't think forced hesitation activated once on a survivor the whole game because nobody was downed near another person until now. Bolotar is going to go up on the hook.
Oh, that's disastrous there. You had that in the bag. The play at the end there, Bolotar, was so clean as well. Taking that hit and then running through the adrenaline. Obviously, it's on these survivors to see whether they can actually cleanse and know it or not. Rian is being caught here in a bit of a rough spot. I think the resources at Bus have actually been used already. So, no, never mind. There is still a pallet up here, but running it in a really interesting way, not going to be able to do that. Noed is going to be going down, but it is only game over. Game Over is the only one here who can actually make something happen, so let's see if the desperation save can come through. Obviously, both these survivors not the closest in the world to each other. Happens can only really keep their eye on one of them, but there's some pressure on the shoulders of Game Over right here. Gonna have to make or break this game, see how many stages will be coming through. As Bolotar almost gonna be hitting second stage now.
Yeah, Game Over needs to be so careful here. Just even one instance of disturbing a crow here could be, well, game over, of course. And he's gonna get found. He does have hope. He's gonna be able to make it to Rian's unhook at least. He's actually not gonna go for it. Is he trying to just take his out?
Potentially, but this is so risky. Obviously, the hope is going to be helping out a lot here. And yeah, Shred not going to be coming through. So let's use the perk there. But my God, that was a clutch no-ed. That was what, like a 3-4 stage game? And that's turned into, I believe that would be...
That's going to be 10 stages.
10. Oh my God, no-ed can be an absolutely disgusting perk sometimes. Holy hell.
Yeah, so 10 stages for Void's Killer. It's actually going to be 9.5 stages because of the penalty that we mentioned earlier at this time. So pretty good performance there from Void on the Killer. Definitely more than we would probably expect for Demogorgon on such a big map. And that's going to be kind of a tall order for Rapture's Killer. who's going to be playing next after this short break. Stay tuned, everybody. Rapture could end the series right here, and we'll be right back.
This is the housekeeping, this time from me, then you know it's a little bit more serious. So what we have in here in this tournament is a locking mechanism for the loadouts. So before the first trial of a set is played, survivor and killer builds need to be sent, so the advantage of knowing the win condition is reduced. Void has posted builds, and they have had a mistake in there, and usually they are locked. Staff is not taking the responsibility for it, and Void was trying to exchange them. I don't want to say secretly, but they deleted them and sent new ones before the trial, and that is not allowed. And because we also cannot track anymore who changed what, and these were completely different builds, the special rule is coming into effect that any balance offense leads to not replacing anything. So we will have 2 survivors on the side of Void that are going to play with completely empty loadouts, only with the offering, no item, no perks, and also taking another half of a hook stage penalty, pushing them from 10 all the way down to 9 stages, because they had a penalty last trial as well. Seems to be rough. We hope Void can recover. This as an explanation from me. Casters, take it away.
Yeah, thank you, Dad, for the explanation there. Just cleaning everything up. Obviously, we run a tight ship here at DBDLeague, but we focus on the match while it's being played out. Jake going to be taking the first chase here. Has actually been doing a pretty good job. Did get the injure earlier. Was able to play that 4-lane wall relatively well. Dodging and juking all of these shreds has been really bad here, and yeah, also running within the corrupted gens is allowing a little bit more space to be coming on the other side of the map. This might be the inverse of kind of what we saw on the last map, where it was that other side of the map where all of the gens were, and that was locked down. But with Corrupt starting here, instead, it seems like Rio is probably going to be defending this place here. Survivor's off to an absolutely phenomenal start, all things considered, especially seeing as 2 of them obviously aren't going to be running with any perks.
Yeah, and despite all the penalties here, this is still quite winnable for Void, just because of the insane result that their killer had last game. Hit did come in from 100 hours, and he's now going to be in chase behind the main building. Another hit taken by Aki there, and Rion still looking for his first down here. We're not sure. Generators might start popping here. This has been going for quite a while.
Yeah, still going here, still trying to work it all through, grind it all out, get that down, get something on the board. It's exactly what you need. Aki doing a phenomenal job thus far. Going to be making it to another pallet, opting not to use it, heading back over to his main building. No, never mind. And yeah, caught a little bit out there, but another dodge coming through. Safe drop on the pallet here. Going to be seeing this relatively medium safety pallet, more so on the killer side of things, but certainly something that Aki can try and do is the thing. Do you take the bolt or not? Yes, you do. Miss comes through, and yeah, Bloodlust going to be fading there, which means no choice but to just break the pallet. First down finally going to be coming through, but that is 2 generators completed, and yeah, pressure is now coming out on this side, which is exactly what you do not want if you are the killer right now.
Actually, only 1 generator completed there, as actually that's not going to be a pain res. There might be another one that's about to pop soon. 1 generator completed 100% so far. And Rion is actually going to take a portal here, something that we didn't really see in the last game. He's going to end up on the shack side of the map, and I think he's looking for somewhere to use his pop, and he has found it there. This generator here at 8 is going to get hit with the pop, and he's going to portal straight back to the hook, hoping to get there before they can heal Aki. We'll see if he can.
Coming over it right now, ideally you would in fact just get it's standard procedure. Get Aki out the game, have it down to 3 survivors, and then just kind of focus on pushing them down from there. Gonna be long range lunge there to take down that pallet instead as well. Gonna be dropped, not quite on the head of the Demogorgon, or if you even want to call it a head, it's more of just a blob that kind of sits on top of the fella. But still, body block is now going to be coming through from this Adam, but not quite in time. Aki going to be going down again. Second hook stage will be coming through, as well as an injure, just for good measure, onto the Adam. So yeah, second hook stage is going to be coming out. Going to be seeing whether this one can actually get a pain res, because if you recall, Aki's first hook was not on a pain res hook. So going to be seeing whether that can actually come out here.
Yep, pain res is going to be really important here, and I mean, body blocks are going to have to be coming in. Okay, so the pain res is going to hit a generator there. We're not sure which one. The one that he did pop earlier now has been completed on the bottom side of the map. And Aki is going to need more body blocks than the average person because he has no perks due to the penalty. So
how many body blocks does the average person require?
That depends on how many safe pallets they have, I think.
I
But
don't
most of these pallets have been used on the bottom side.
I don't consider that when I'm walking to the store if anyone's going to body block me, but I feel you, I feel you.
So, yeah, Rion content to sit in top mid here and wait for Aki's hook stage to deplete, or maybe try to force a trade on this pain res hook. But oh man, they sneak past him and they're able to get that unhook. We'll have to see. He's probably just going to go straight back onto Aki here and go for this tunnel out at 3 gens remaining. He's going to get the shred onto the ace here, staying on the injured Alan Wake's trail though, and he is running into an area that does not have many resources. If only he had an exhaustion perk here. No perks to work with though.
Yeah, it's really rough there, and obviously if you're going to be tunneled out first, and that's kind of what you need. One of those more than average body blocks that you were mentioning is going to be coming out here. Seth on Jake to get it. Yeah, he's going to... What? What was the needle there? How did he thread that needle? Will the power save be coming through? No, not quite either. What was that fumble?
I have no idea what happened there. The Demogorgon just seemed to phase through the Jake, hitting his target, getting the tunnel out at 3 gens remaining. There is a gen being doubled, and it looks like he wasn't able to find that gen that was being doubled. It's probably going to be completed relatively soon. No, he's actually going to find it and place the pop goes the weasel on it. So Rion here in a great spot. He just needs to find his next chase and not get walked around the entire map to every pallet. And Rapture is going to be looking good here. Remember, the win con for Rion is 10 stages. So he's gonna need 7 more to win this game as he gets hit with the head on.
Just very scary jump scare, I suppose. Just, you know, walking past and suddenly someone jumps out the locker at you. Did hear a loud noise notification go off here, so he's gonna come back, place another portal down just to keep these gens locked in. And yeah, this is why you get rid of, this is why you tunnel out, get rid of the sniper really early. Can hit come through? Not quite. He's actually going to be eating a stun for the trouble as well there, which is far from ideal. Yeah, now I'm going to be running through as another nice pallet here. Did try and actually run that one back, but not going to really be working. And yeah, this is going to be the other survivor without any perks. So Jesus Christ, the target selection, whether purposeful or not, has been absolutely sublime here from the demo, going over to the survivors that cannot realistically defend themselves, running all the way up here, knowing the time to go. But yeah, unfortunately, double back coming through there from the demo. This gen is going to be doubled up, but a hook onto the Adam now is going to create an absurd amount of pressure onto the Void team.
Yeah, and this is a pain res hook, and that is going to hit them before they can finish the gen. Devastating onto the survivors of Void. A pop comes onto the gen with more than 50% progress, and Rion is just rolling in pressure right now, getting closer and closer to the win con.
Yeah, more pressure right now than a fire hydrant. Jesus Christ! I mean, how do you even go about this with your survivors here? You have someone injured, you have someone on the hook, and yeah, this simply won't be a safe unhook. Either that, or you're gonna have to send Seth over to get it for a trade to actually potentially come through. And even then, why would you want to do that? Because then you'll just be giving away another pain res. And right now, you'll take all the progress you can get. So really rough spot for the survivors. Rion, again, not really caring about going over to that other side of the map, with a nice 3-gen setup over here, protecting that middle choke point once again.
Yeah, and the survivors here, they have to be better about taking these chases down to the bottom side of the map. Nothing has been used on that bottom side of the map. Like, every chase is taking place on top side. They're running out of pallets here, and the only healthy survivor is going to take a hit, meaning the injured person has to go for the save. 100 hours is going to get taken off that hook, but both of these survivors are injured and aren't going to last particularly long. Okay, Rion finally breaks that door, making this building into just a worse version of Shack. And who is he going to choose to go for here? He's actually going to tunnel.
Yeah, tunneling. Yeah, tunneling in two senses there. Going after the Jake actually through the portal here, trying to get it through again. Not an interesting pallet to try and play around. Shred just barely missing there once again. I'm actually very impressed with every survivor so far. This pallet is one that a lot of people get caught out on, but you can just see the skill of these survivors to actually be able to work these ones out. And that is actually going to be the 3-gen seemingly broken there with that gen. Yeah, with the gen on that side going, but again, this is very strong here. This hook here, again, you get this another pain resonance that's going to be coming through. You have pop as well, but yeah, the 3-gen is officially broken. Would you be worried about that if you're Rian?
No, not in the slightest. Both survivors are injured. You have another person dead on hook. Rian can reasonably know here that there's barely any progress on the remaining generators. See, he doesn't even opt to use his pop there on the generator that he comes out next to, and we know that that one used to have progress. But the survivors are going to be resetting here, and I'm not sure if I agree with their decision here to not 99 their heals to hide their position. Because Rian, he sees those resets come in, and he's able to react to it and go to look for where they're resetting, and he's going to find them. That is why you 99 your heals in comp, ladies and gentlemen.
Yes, well, I'll take your word for it. I'll be perfectly honest, but yes, 100 hours is going to be taking a hit there. Nice little tech there, actually, just going to be catching the edge of the pallet, but breaking it anyway. And yeah, absolute disaster here. There's simply no way right now that pressure can actually come through onto the gens, which is exactly where you want to apply them as survivors. Again, as you said earlier, very correctly, the difference between 3 survivors and 4 survivors is genuinely night and day. So getting rid of Aki early has done wonders for Rian right now. Again, going to be trying to get that shred through, not entirely working out there. Can try and do it here, but is going to be, you know, stubbing his toe on a piece of debris, screaming loudly as anyone would when they stub their toe. You know, Demo's just like that, but maybe a little more murderous.
And, I mean, that is definitely not the first time that Rian has gotten crouch-checked this game by the survivors of Void, but regardless, he's still finishing these chases in short order and just making short work of survivors of Void here, as he's going to portal back to the other side of the map, see if he has a pop to deliver on either of these topside generators, and then he's probably going to be teleporting right back to that hook to finish off Seth. Seth is going to get unhooked there as he checks the main generator. It has barely any progress, and now he's probably going to be portaling back to bottom side to try to finish off one of these injured survivors.
Yeah, Pop has been getting absolutely criminal amounts of value. It seems like whether it's Rian's awareness or whether it's just pure blind luck, it always seems to be the gen which is the most completed and the most progress done on it that actually is the one that gets popped. So maximizing value from that perk is absolutely essential here. Only 3 more stages that Rian actually needs to achieve here to secure the win. Obviously, Void, they did get 10 stages on their round, but as we explained by way of penalties, they only got 9 after that consideration. If there's a silver lining here, the chase is coming through onto the healthy survivor, the ace. A little more time here can be bought, especially with power. And yeah, reset is now going to be coming through for 100 hours and set. So maybe there's a little bit of an opportunity for them here to actually get some pressure onto these gens.
Nice play there from Ace. He just leaves the tile and forces Rian to swing at air. So chases onto the healthy survivor here. Tries to go for that elevated shred. It is not going to work. Little bit of weird collision there as the Ace is going to take this chase all the way down to the main building, and that kind of tells us that Seth and 100 hours are probably on gens on bottom side.
Yeah, this is where the whole 3-gen game broken thing maybe a little worried, because Ace has been buying so much time in this chase. Hasn't it been hit once yet? That is absolutely unbelievable. Will it be coming through here? Yeah, probably, yeah, just about at the end, but holy moly, Ryan had to work for that one. And yeah, all of this time on the top side, both gens been doing done. Rian realizing, yeah, I cannot continue to chase this. I have to actually look at these gens up top here. So no more time being bought. And what seemed like it was what initially seemed like something that was in the bag for our Demogorgon has become something a lot closer than I think any of us really anticipated here.
Yeah, and Rian might have missed that, but when he charged the shred, he had Killer Instinct on a bottom side generator. He could have gone and interrupted that. That means a survivor is doing a gen right on top of a portal. but he's actually just going to take another chase onto Ace here, which is smart. Again, there's no resources here on bottom side. Pretty much every pallet has been thrown, or sorry, this is top side. Every resource has been thrown on top side, and that's why we see a body block coming in from Seth as the 4th generator is going to pop. We've got 2 survivors injured, both in chase here. Seth is going to go down. Seth is death hook, isn't he?
I do believe so, yeah, death hook there, so that could be a survivor out of the game, but right now Rian is out for blood. Yeah, like any good predator, just hunting down its prey right now. Happy to get this hook on to Happens right now, and yeah, now you're looking in a very much more dominant position here for the killer. You have this survivor on the hook. You can, technically you can just camp this to the very end if you really, really wanted to, but no, instead, progression is going to come here. That was the last Scourge hook, and oh boy, that time was perfect. Just listen to how far completed that gen was. It was on the absolute brink. There could have been some kind of miraculous play. Maybe, I know 100 hours don't have any perks, or maybe Seth has adrenaline or something like that. Happens, and maybe a save can come through, but Scourge denying that at the very end right now as Rian just going to be, you know, surveilling his territory. I mean, again, you can technically just camp out this ace until the very end. That would get you your 10 stages and secure your win. So it's really on 100 hours to make some kind of really absurd play happen. Doesn't look like it's going to be happening.
Yeah, and we can't forget here that Rian also has no ed. Even if they do complete that final gen, he's going to secure the trade onto 100 hours here. Who's going to go up on the hook? That's going to be a death onto 100 hours. Only 2 survivors left, and it seems like Ace has given up. That's gonna be... Ace stops moving at the broken truck. Seth still on the ground. That's gonna be the 4K1 for Rian, and Rapture taking a 2-0 over Void in the lower bracket. Very well played on both sets from Rapture. Great games all around. What do you think about this result, Edgar?
I mean, it was only about time, really. Obviously, there were a lot of advantages that Rapture had coming into this set. Obviously, given the issues with perks and the issues with penalties, but even then, 4K still absolutely tremendous on demo. Obviously, this map is one that has to be played a lot more strategically than others. You really have to control these lanes. Obviously, consider where your resources are. Think about whether you're breaking 3 gens or anything like that. But at the end of the day, it was just very strong killer fundamentals as a comically long scream from Ace signals the end of this series here for Team Void. You played well, but at the end of the day, you just weren't a match for the Demogorgon of Rian.
Yeah, so that's going to be it for this set between Rapture and Void.